Hello and welcome to another development log of Project Third Eye VR. This time we have a lot to talk about and because it has been, 3 or 4 weeks or 2 months, I really don't know. It's been a long time since the last development log and there's obviously a lot of new things that I can show you. So let's jump right into it. First of all, we have new NPCs. So this is Greg, this is Mila and this is Bob. And they have names because people in the comments on TikTok suggested that they should be called like this. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, I think you find the links in the description. I'm very active on TikTok, so if you always want to know what's going on in the game, that's a lot faster pasted on TikTok. So I would recommend to check it out. Now, these NPCs have a completely new ragdoll physics. Once again, I started from scratch with this ragdoll physics, and I think the result is really nice. So let me demonstrate the locomotion first. So first of all, there is something graphically going on here. This is just a Mixamo character, but it has blend shapes for blinking. So could you please blink for a second? Sure. Oh yeah, so we have blinking. Also we have attention logic. So if I move my hands or something, it focuses on my hand. Also we have blend shapes on the face mask. So it looks like she's talking under her face mask. So that's set up. Also, for example, if I grab the shoulder, you can see it looks me in the eyes. If I, so it should, it looks at my head now, and it plays the blend shape and all that. And these voice lines are from people from Fiverr. So all of these have voice lines in different situations. For example, if you touch them, or if they get bored, or for some other reason, they all have their voice lines set up. So, but the ragdoll physics turned out really nice. So let me show you the ragdoll physics.
I'm done with your games.
So now I provoked it to a fight, I think. Yeah. And here we go. And as you can see, the feet are moving. And it's a lot better than Gen Z. So I think that's really obvious. But what the hell was that?
Take that.
Yeah, you tried. So, but what's new is that this locomotion. So I initially wanted to do a locomotion that is kinetic and have ragdoll physics on top of it, or down the hierarchy. But then I realized that it also works with a completely physical approach. So these NPCs walk only by the friction of their feet on the ground. So it's completely physical. The only thing obviously that is fake is the anchor of the hip. So they have a soft anchor at the hip so they don't flip over. But the walking is really just their feet on the ground. And I think that's really nice. So I almost gave up on this, but at the end of the day I got it to work and I'm really happy about it. Also, as you can see, the get up animation, completely physical, but looks a lot better. Oh Jesus. So so that's it, mostly for the NPC part. Also, could you play another get up animation? Very nice. So the boxing animation looks a lot better than Gen Z, so that improved by a lot. And also, if she punches me, so sometimes it just flips over randomly. So that's the other side. Yeah, also works. And so the punching, the player receives damage from these punching impacts. So that's new, and it also works. And it's different on every character, how they fight. So they all have different fighting animations. So let's get a gun really quick. And also we have dying animations. So for example, if I shoot in the stomach, she holds her stomach and then just goes into ragdoll. Also, the dying process Now it takes a few seconds until it's completely ragdoll. It's not just ragdoll and it all the bones go everywhere. They smoothly lose strength, and that's what it makes it look a little bit more realistic. Also, when they ragdoll, they're not completely loose. They still have some stiffness to it, and that makes the ragdoll feel a little bit more realistic. So, yeah, we have Greg, for example, and he has a gun.
Back off.
Yeah, different voice lines.
No mercy.
Yeah, now we provoked him to a fight. Yeah, he has aiming and all that. Oh god, Jesus, we need to shoot him really quick before he kills me. Yeah, and that was a different dying animation. Because if you shoot at the stomach, at the head, or the upper spine, that causes a different variations of the dying animations. So yeah, let's delete them really quick, so it's not that laggy anymore. A lot better. So now we have Bob. Bob is the only NPC that doesn't have a face mask. So here we have the jaw and all that, which is really nice. Yeah, and now if we provoke him to a fight, he has a wrench that he uses to fight, and let's get attacked now. Sometimes they just fall over randomly. As I said, it got better, but it's not, and he killed himself. Yeah, that didn't work out too well. But yeah, so he has fighting animations like I think they are from a sword fight kind of asset. So Bob has sword fighting. So that's it for the NPCs, I think. So we have new ragdoll system, new fighting system, 3 kinds of fighting. Now let's move on to the UI. Now we have a secondary bar, and this has buttons with icons, and if I hover over it, it says spawnable objects, teleport points, spawned objects, environments, settings, and so on, main menu. And for example, here I can go into spawnable objects. Here I have my spawn menu. Here we have spawned objects. This shows all objects in the scene. So for example, we have a lot of 2x4s. I think this is this here. So now I can just click the trash bin and they're all deleted. Or let's try the same thing with the save box, and the save box is gone. So I could click clear all, and now there's nothing but this spawn gun right here. And for some reason, this magazine. So there seems to be some problem with this magazine. However, that's an easy way how you can get your frame rate down if you spawn too many objects. So just clear all and it's all gone. Then we have teleport points. For example, we always have the spawn, and now I can click select, and that's where I spawned. And I could also go over here in this corner here, click save this point. Now I have another point set up here, and I can just click select, and I'm in the corner again. So that's how you can quickly go from one point on the map to another. Yep, so that's it, I think, for this environment and the NPCs. Let me check my paper. Now we go on by the Megaramp. So let's go to environments and into the Megaramp. Let's go. Very nice. So now we are in the Megaramp. This is the skateboard, as you know. I optimized the skateboard also, so now it's a little bit simpler. Also, I've changed how jumping works. Now you can just click the A button and you do a jump. So it's got a little bit simpler. This is a new environment with some borders and a simple terrain setup, and a Megaramp, an XGames style Megaramp. And this, of course, can be used with the skateboard. So let's get the skateboard going. Oh, let's go into slow-mo to make this a little bit easier. And let's go. Well, let's try to do a Christ Air. That's what it's called. Oh yeah. So that's how the skateboard works. Oh, I flipped over the microphone again. Yep. Very nice. So now I got my skateboard here, and that's where the teleport points come into play. I can just go to teleport points, select the spawn, and boom, now we're on top again. That makes it very easy to use. And I could do the same thing again. Let's try the other ramps too. Oh, that was close. Yeah, so that's it for the Megaramp. There are also a few new vehicles that I could show you. I think it's just 2. So the BMX, I found a good model, and a unicycle. So the unicycle is completely useless, but I think it's funny and it was easy to set up. It's not meant to be a realistic vehicle, it's just a fun gimmick that didn't took very long to set this up. So that's why I made it. And here is the BMX. This is completely physical, so let's get the pedals. As you can see, it's coupled to the rear wheel. And yeah, this is the BMX. Press right thumbstick to enter. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. And as you can see, we have an animation for the pedaling thing, and we can also do tricks. So let's do a tail whip really quick. Oh, that didn't really work. Let's try this again. And hep. Yeah, very cool. Easy tail whip. Let's try this again. That's a lot better. Without slow-mo, it's a lot harder. Okay, so yeah, that's the BMX. The only problem with the BMX, let's get back onto the on the top of the Megaramp really quick. Here we go. And yeah, the problem of the BMX is this. If we go down the ramp, we are way too slow. And this is because the wheels of the BMX, let's place this on the floor really quick. Yeah, very nice. The wheels are actually physics objects, and this is a problem because these physics objects don't act as real wheels. So they are simulated, but they are not simulated accurate enough to act as a wheel on a vehicle, and that's why they always act a little bit weird. So for example, if we have the motorcycle, let's get the motorcycle really quick. Here it is. The motorcycle has has a wheel collider component, and that's why it acts a lot more like a wheel and less like a, I don't know what it is. So it reacts more realistic because it's simulated to do exactly this wheel behavior, but we cannot use this as a physics object, so we cannot grab it, we cannot turn it. So it's an abstraction of the real wheel, and this is just a rigid object that is simulated as a rotation constraint, or a 3 position constraint and 2 rotation constraint. So it's basically a hinge joint. Yeah, so that's why the BMX is a bit weird. I mean, it's still fun to use, and also I don't have the orientation of the player coupled to the BMX. On the motorcycle, as you know, it couples the orientation of the player. So if we go here, oh Jesus, yeah. So it couples the orientation. It flips over the whole rig, and this is static. So this stays still. So if I turn to the right, so let's just turn to the right, nothing really happens. So of course it wants to go in this direction a bit, but it's not super accurate. Can we jump over this thing? Not really. Yeah. So that's why we cannot really do right in curves, but we can use the right joystick with continuous turn to rotate. But I don't know, it's shitty. I need to find a way to get this right, because then this would be super fun to use it on the Megaramp, I think. if I would get this right. Another thing is, where is it? Oh, it should be, oh yeah, there it is. Let's go down. Hup. Okay, I just need to find a way to... Oh, there it is. Okay, spawnable objects. What am I doing? Tools, web shooter, gravity gun. Let's get the gravity gun. Also, let's get another gravity gun. So the gravity gun can be used to fly around. That's pretty cool. So it just needs some way to get this scooter out of this mesh collider. Okay, so scooter, get out of the catwalk. Ah, there it is. So Jesus, leave the mesh leave the mesh collider alone. So this is a scooter that I'm trying to make, and yeah, physics is really simple. It's the same as the BMX. The only difference is that I use the wheel colliders from the motorcycle, and that produces some super fun results. Yeah, so that's because it makes this motor sounds and all that, because it's also using the vehicle thing. But yeah, so I'm also trying to make a scooter, but at the moment I'm not getting the physics right. I'm just stupid. I don't know. I'm trying to use Unity's built-in wheel collider. I'm using a custom wheel collider from a Unity asset. Also doesn't work. It's the small wheels with very little weight that cause just problems that don't really work realistic. Otherwise, I already would have gotten it to a point where it's super usable and fun. So the next thing on the list is the Infinity Hill. As you may know, we have the skateboard and all these things. Yeah, so this is basically what it says. It's an infinitely going hill with obstacles to ride on. So I can use the snowboard and just ride endlessly on these rails, which is really cool because the other map was super small and I wanted to keep it because of the ski lift, because I think that this was really cool. Go. Yeah, so you can go snowboarding here, and that's basically what this environment is all about. Then we have a water slide, which is also really cool. Let's wait a second. Here it is. So here's a water slide. We have some water running into it. Then we have these swim ring kind of thing. So it also has a seat mechanic set up. So we could do this and basically ride down this water slide. So now I also need to use my right joystick to control the direction, otherwise it would just go like this. Yep, so that's very nice. So let's go into the teleport points and go back up to the... And it's, for some reason, sometimes it doesn't really work with the vehicles. Yeah, so that's the swimming ring. We also have a pool noodle rigged, so it's bending a bit. And of course you can spawn the NPCs.
Name and read.
And then have them slide down this water slide, which is fun to look at. Now that's the snowboard, the water slide environment, which is a very simple environment. And the last thing is Ghost City. So let's go into Ghost City really quick. And here we go. So this is basically a large empty city. And I made this mainly because you can ride the car and the vehicles, so that's one reason. But the other reason is you can use the web shooters that I made. So I implemented this as a web shooter gun. So it's just a sci-fi gun that shoots these things. So it's similar to the gravity gun. So the gravity gun does this. Well, then we have this spring visual effect. So the spring can be compressed, and the other thing that is not compressed. Yeah, and then you can use these things to have a joint connection like this, a string connection. And now if I pull up the joystick, I go into this direction, just like the web shooters from Spider-Man. So and then I could swing around this building. Let's make a curve here. Very cool. Yeah, so that's how it works here. Ooh. I've read in the comments on TikTok that people wanted me to make this as a wristband and then have just a white line like the real Spider-Man, and then I should add a Spider-Man avatar and all these kind of things, but I think this is just the easiest way to add this to the game. Oh Jesus. Is just to add this as a weapon, as a gun mechanic. So that's just really simple to set up. Oh Jesus. Let's get on top of this building. Yep, almost. Oh yeah, I hit the antenna. Let's go up here. Yeah, so and at this point the microphone was basically muted because I once again hit the microphone. So there's one more thing to say, is it will be soon launching on Steam. It already has a page set up, so you can already wishlist the game. Just look into the description of this video and you will find a link to the Steam page. I think it will be released, I don't know, in the next 4 weeks. It really depends on how long this whole process takes, because I never released anything on Steam, so I don't really know how this works. But I think that's all. Follow the development of Project Third Eye and see you in the next development log.